We can get a formal alliance already with the Philippines. Let's go ahead and do that. Expand our little sphere here. Definitely keep them ahead of the game. Anyone we're allied with is basically someone I think he's not even going to attack. He's a very heavy diplomatic player, and he likes attacking neutral countries or countries aligned towards him so that he doesn't have to worry about any kind of penalty. He will only go for things that I'm allied with if he thinks I'm distracted and or cannot protect them. We're going to have to start throwing money at other countries too to start making them like us as well. So one thing to keep in mind. But I'm going to start with countries that are already leaning towards me, such as Sweden, who I don't have anything with right now. I'm sure I could get something with them, right? Well, if I pay them for it, I could get everything short of formal alliance. That's a good place to start. And I will throw money at other countries to make them like me, but I don't need to be as heavy-handed because, well, his sphere is supposed to be the aggressors anyway. What do they want? They want 1.4 bill? That's super cheap. For me, that is super cheap. Let's give them another bill. We want Sweden for sure. Sweden has to join us because if we actually look by military production in the world, Sweden is up here. They're up here. They're fairly important. Them and Spain are invaluable to get on our side, and they can really help us out over here in Europe. Sweden's more important though because it's closer to him. Spain's a little more isolated and already kind of protected. I doubt they'll take a formal alliance. No, they won't. But they'll... Oh, fucking Christ. But they should take everything else. Yes. So we'll get everything else with them. Hell, we're going to go ahead and befriend Andorra because literally every ally helps. Saarland doesn't matter because I'll make them like me anyway. But it doesn't matter because I think they just join West Germany regardless of any of that. One thing I'm going to do. The US has like 80 aircraft carriers at this point in history. I still think aircraft carriers in this game are fucking useless. So I'm going to scrap probably like all of them. And giving the command one by one in this menu is going to be obnoxiously annoying to actually set up and do. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get all of these carriers selected. I'm going to sail them out to one point. And when they get there, I'm going to give them a mass scrap order. Get back the military goods on them because it's actually going to be worth something. There's really no point to selling these to any other country because, again, carriers are worthless. The AI doesn't know how to use them, and I don't want to have to weaken, in my eyes, weaken my allies with an abundance of carriers that they're not even going to understand how to use. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get them all headed. Where are most of them? On the East Coast. And I do have all of them selected, I believe. Yes, let's get them sent over to the Gulf of Mexico. I'm gonna get all the treaties short of formal alliance with South Korea as well. Okay, guys, so that plan I was telling you about South Korea. Well, here it is. I've put over 200, I think, infantry units in here, maybe about 200 infantry battalions in here. These are dog shit infantry. They're worth like nothing. They are from 1921. They are terrible. This is how much troops South Korea has right now. If I send these troops to them, it will teleport into their reserves, and when it gets there, they're going to have to repair it. But they're going to be given military goods in order to repair them anyway. Like 200 of this infantry, which honestly, if I don't sell to them, I'm just going to scrap it anyway. So I figured, because it's so worthless, because the military goods I get back from them are so minuscule, I might as well do it. I'm also going to sell them my most outdated, like 1-star currently, tanks. I have my most outdated 1-star recon that I've sold to them as well, or I'm going to sell to them. Same thing with air defense and artillery. There's a lot of artillery in here too. The total value is 262 according to the game. I'm just going to take what they give me for it, which is going to be about 68 million. So I'm cutting them a real good deal here. The reason I'm doing this is because this stuff is so worthless that I would not keep it for myself anyway. And the amount of military goods I'll get back from actually scrapping this is also so worthless. I know even this, because it's such outdated garbage, is not going to be enough for South Korea to beat North Korea. I know this for a fact. So I'm just pushing it onto them so that they can absorb a huge amount of the losses themselves with their own military losses, with their own money, everything. And I don't have to worry about it. And they'll buy some time for me to eventually send my units over to Korea and do the real good damage with my newer units and hopefully overwhelm North Korea with minimal casualties to my side. Because if he sees South Korea takes damage, I don't think he's going to realize anyway that most of the units came from me. If he sees I take a lot of damage, that might embolden him. So best to get these outdated units out of my military so that they don't make me look weak, and so that instead I can make South Korea look stronger than usual. Plus, if South Korea loses an inflated amount of units, then he will think that they're less of a threat. He'll think, oh, that's what they had. Look how much they lost, and now they're less of a threat to me. We already have a deal for him to stay out of it for a while, but this will make him feel safer, theoretically. So I'm going to go ahead and put that trade through. And just to clarify one more thing about our deal, we did clarify that if South Korea invades China, we are both staying out of it. If South Korea attacks him or whatever, he can kill them. We've also established if North Vietnam expands past Indochina, tries going into like Thailand, for example, then it's expected that I will be cracking down and taking North Vietnam. So these deals do have their limits. Also, there's an armed insurgency in British Malaya. I'm going to support the government on that because the government is my friend. And my M75 finished researching. That's very good. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's already going to be replacing the Amtrak for sure. The LVT-4 Amtrak, it's definitely better. We're going to go ahead and exclude the LVT Amtrak then and just encourage my AI to build solely these M75s. They're going to be pretty damn useful. I'm going to get every treaty I can get with Taiwan other than formal alliance because, well, I can't get it from them. Oh, looks like he has gone down to Indochina to help the Vietnamese with pushing on the French colonies. Fine by me if he wants to waste some units there. Does he have a good amount of mill goods? Oh, yeah, looks like his mill good shortage is done. What's this? A single elite guard. I see you've gone over to Indochina to help out the Vietnamese.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's always fun fighting in those jungles. At least the French aren't good at fighting in jungles, right?
I'm not fighting on the jungles, I'm staying on the goddamn road.
Oh, yeah. I need to continue putting some effort into getting Sweden on my side, so let's send them another bill. I'm just going to do this in bills because I'm probably going to be so rich as it is. Let's take a look at what's been happening in the world already. So, by the looks of it, France, of course, is doing terrible in Indochina, as they historically did. He's only lost 1 unit, he's killed 3 units. That's fine enough. Not a big scratch off any of our backs. North Vietnam's been doing well, as I would expect. Let's look at money. I'm the richest country in the world by far, but he's sending money to a lot of other countries, just like Austria. I'm hoping my constant support yet of Austria may help in some way, but I don't know if it's going to flip them, and I'm not going to get any treaties or try to do anything else while I still don't know how they're going to react to his alliance attempts. But damn, look at this fucking storm coming in. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Sweden's liking me more. It's their population that needs some work.
You know, because Vietnam's already sucking me dry for military goods.
Yeah. You gotta like wait for that to roll over, basically. They run out eventually of the script. And they're also taking from China, but mostly from you, I think. Yeah, mostly from you, but China's also throwing goods at them. What do they have now? God, they have probably the largest supply of military goods in the world. I don't know why the amount that you're scripted to give them is so high, and I will never understand that.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Ooh, you can already see some of the units.
The only way to get rid of it is to break all the treaties, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you can already see some of the units we sold them being deployed, like these ancient assault guns, probably a lot of this arty as well. There's a lot of this infantry is going to be ours as well, but you won't be able to tell because it's a multiple country of origin. 1922, terrible infantry in general. There's the recon we gave them. A lot of it's probably going to stay in the reserves until the war starts, and I'm just going to tell you up front, they're probably going to lose most, if not everything I sold them, plus their own military. They're probably going to, because North Korea starts out fairly mechanized and motorized, and this 1921 infantry that I've mostly sold them and that they mostly have is dog shit. And they don't have enough time to make more stuff.
Troops deployed.
Was the military troops deployed?
For France, almost. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, France gets like super militarized in this setting because of their initial war with Vietnam, even though they don't mobilize to do anything about it, because when they were scripted to mobilize and do something about it, they ended up sailing into Leningrad and getting blown to bits because of bad AI pathfinding. And we're going to have to keep an eye on France, though, because they might need some financial assistance. France's finances start out terrible, and we want a strong France, because a strong France is our biggest bulwark against him in Europe. But in fact, all of our Western European and NATO allies, especially France and the UK, are so strong in the long run in this game that I know for a fact, if he does not take them before 1960, I doubt he's ever going to take them. Because they develop really well. And to make it better, they sell all of their excess units to other NATO members they're allied with, such as Australia even. So them doing well is really the best thing we could ever hope for. And I did successfully flip Sweden into the NATO aligned sphere, but I need an alliance to really seal the deal. 1 more billion and maybe they should be good. And at the very least, all this money will help my allies develop. I still might need to send money to France to bail them out. Realistically, I want as strong a France as possible, even if that means I have to put a lot of money in them. Is France making more military stuff? Okay, good. They're not, and that's what's good. I don't want them going retarded here. Speaking of building stuff, I still haven't started. We're barely far into the game, but I've been doing so much other crap. We did successfully... Okay, cool. We successfully got this engineer here. So it turns out this engineer combat, for whatever reason, he can't do the thing that you can usually do and go ahead and just build stuff. Typically what you can do is you can build an industrial complex where any of these guys are, but I can't seem to do that for whatever reason. So I'm going to send a land-based engineer and hope that that works out better. This dude should be able to do it. He is an engineer, but I guess, you know what, if he can't, then I'll just end up sending somebody else. Oh, look, and here's all those carriers I was mentioning. This is all carriers, right? Yeah, alright, so let's go ahead and just scrap all of these. All of these carriers, scrap them. Get them out of here. So, the South Korean military is already looking better. They've deployed a lot of the non-infantry that we've sent them. They seem to have deployed most of the artillery. I didn't sell them a whole lot of artillery, but they seem to have deployed a lot of it as is. They're slowly getting a lot of their infantry deployed as well. And he formed an alliance with Austria. Yep, alright, well there goes befriending Austria. But, you know what? That's fine by me, because I was planning on invading Europe at some point anyway, and I was going to do it through Yugoslavia, which I was going to do through Italy. But an undefended Austria is just as fine a place for me to make a base as any, in my opinion. And looks like we can get our formal alliance with Sweden, so let's go ahead and do that, just so he knows that we are keeping up with him. I don't know exactly what other allies he's going to look for. He's clearly just trying to strengthen himself by going for Austria. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and just throw down some of these really old tanks as well. Just sell these to the South Koreans. It's not a whole lot. On paper, it looks like a lot, but I promise you it's not a whole lot. And we're making much newer, better stuff right now as it is. And because I sold so much infantry, my AI is focusing, upgrading, and getting brand new infantry like the M75s and such as well. So we're going to be pretty well off. I still have a large amount of units that I can utilize for this war. Uh-oh, he is trying to ally Finland. That's interesting. Well, he's going to do it. He's going to successfully do it because he's already, like, on top of it. That's interesting that he's going for Finland. I was going to try to go for them. It would have been risky to pick them, but they're fairly militarized, so it's a shame that he's probably going to get them. He's clearly throwing money at them as is. We can already check, actually. Yeah, he loves them. And he actually, looks like Finland actually likes this side, surprisingly, better than our side. That's not his doing. You couldn't have done that so quickly, but still very interesting. So he's already going hard into diplomacy as we speak. That's fine. That's okay if he makes allies there. I have allies I'm making all over the place. In which the next ally that I think I'd like to make is New Zealand. So let's go ahead and start throwing some bills at New Zealand. He's doing this with far less money than I am. He's probably using goods as well, but I'm just using money to just kind of brute force these alliances if I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up my ROE finally. I didn't want to deploy anything at the very start because I didn't want to deploy anything really. I just wanted to deal with getting those really old ancient units over to my South Korean buddies. These guys have absolutely no idea what they're doing, these carriers. Go and scrap, you fuckers. There were probably too many of you and you fucking overwhelmed the place. I've been hearing loads of fighting over here, yeah. It's a whole lot of Soviets, be they militia or otherwise, just pushing down the road and fighting the French South Vietnamese garrisons. Luckily, they're just garrisons, doesn't mean a whole lot to us. The South Korean military is looking mighty fine at this point. Definitely looking mighty fine. They've deployed now the newer tanks that I've sent them as well. They have a decent amount of infantry already deployed. Most of their infantry still just sitting in their reserves, however. Oh, we've reached the point of a labor shortage. I knew this was coming. And I haven't even started building the rubber yet. Which reminds me, even though, you know, we just hit a labor shortage, I do need to start building rubber because I know for a fact that there will be a shortage of rubber sooner rather than later. So let's just fill all of Honolulu with rubber plantations right now. We definitely need to get that going because I'm using more than him. I have more of a susceptibility to this kind of stuff than he does. And let's start turning on my minister AI control over my military as well and really start pumping up our military. Let's go ahead and send New Zealand another bill. Make them love me some more. Because of the amount of military goods I sent to South Korea to repair their shit, they actually have a slightly decent stockpile. I have to keep an eye on it when the war starts, which, by the way, we are like a month and a half away from the war actually breaking out. So soon here, I'm going to want to start sending a bunch of units over there. Because with the amount of infantry I sent them, they're going to be good cannon fodder. They still have like 209 of the infantry in reserves. This is what they have deployed, everything else. They don't have the old arty I sent them, so maybe they scrapped the old arty for all I know. Either way, I didn't want it anyway, and it was super cheap and worthless. I'm not sure exactly where it went, but they still have all the infantry I sent them. They've deployed every single tank and recon that I've sent them. I see these things on the map. So they're pretty damn well set to start fighting a war. It's just, I know they're still not going to win it, even with everything I've sent them. So this is how we're going to do it. Getting these carriers scrapped slowly but surely. I think I got basically all the carriers scrapped. If I have more, I can't see any. Finland's Warsaw aligned. Yeah, he's going heavy for Finland, man. Alright, well, we can get our alliance with New Zealand, so that's another 1-for-1 right there at the very least. Who's next? Let's say Turkey next. Let's get someone on his border to really fuck with him since he's been getting some allies himself. Just especially because he got Finland. Because he got Finland especially. I want to get someone right on his border to fuck with him. And Turkey's not a bad country to have. They have some pretty decent military production, and so does, well, Greece has an okay amount. But it opens up another front here in southern Europe, so I can always go for his allies over in this region. Let's go ahead and send them another bill. Labor shortage. Yeah, I'm just going to eat through the labor shortage, honestly. The labor shortage just makes things more expensive, but I think I have enough money as the US to not have to worry about that. There you go. I am getting Turkey. Turkey is going to be an ally. Let's start throwing a whole bunch of money at Greece. Power them up. Ooh, is this UK? Yeah, man. The UK Navy's still pretty good at this time. Eventually, just with government support, we should start seeing countries start to turn blue as is. Hopefully, it keeps up with the fact he's being very aggressive with his diplomacy. Hopefully. In the meantime, I'm just going to focus down some countries all the way into alliance so that we can hopefully keep up with him in that way. Especially very strategic ones. I don't have infinite money to do this, but, well, neither does he. What is this? Some merchant marines headed over here. Yeah, by the way, I set up some battle zones over here anyway, so my AI is going to send some troops over here all by himself as it is. April, June. So in roughly 1 month, the war is going to start. Closer to the end of the month, I'm going to start actually transporting my units. But the AI is already kind of getting on that and sending some stuff because I've set up some priorities. So we will have a little bit of a presence at the very start anyway. Industrial complex, industrial complex. And I will need a military complex somewhere here because I do want to get a bit of a seaport going. Let's build a military complex here. We can make a nice little port on this island. I've never, repeat, never used this island for anything ever. So it's nice to finally get to do that. Plus, I need at least a pier just to get these guys off at this point. We got almost 500 land units currently deployed with old mounted infantry half-tracks. We still have a lot of old units, by the way. I just sold all the pre-World War II units is what I did. Except for the tanks. I'll be honest, some of those tanks were early and mid-World War II tanks, but they were not something I wanted to necessarily deal with. We still have a good amount of good and old or new units combined available to us. Oh, France got something we don't have. Let's buy that. Definitely want to stay ahead of the game there. Keep checking our allies. We're also going to need to keep trying to make Spain like us more. Spain is a very important ally to get earlier we get them, the sooner they can become integrated with our sphere. And we still need to aim for Greece. But there you go. I can actually already get the alliance with Greece. So that's looking pretty nice. Spain's going to require a little bit more money to help them out here. And how's France looking? France is probably taking out debt, if I'm being honest. Who has the most debt? Let me get the colonies out of here. Is France on here? They are. They have a decent amount of debt, but not too bad. So their finances are okay so far. Got my alliance. Got Spain into my sphere aligned. Looks like one more bill should be enough to get them to join. So I'm definitely dominating right now in terms of the actual allies I'm getting. Our actual spheres here are almost even. He has almost as many sphere members as me if you count both aligned and leaning. If you count just aligned, then I'm definitely hitting it out of the park here. And there you go. There's our alliance with Spain. I haven't been adding new members to my sphere. I've just been getting all the leaning into aligned so that no matter what happens, he can't steal them. Also forgot to get any of the rest of the treaties with Iceland, so let's go ahead and do that. Sweet. We're doing pretty nice. It's April 26th, March, April, May, June. Oh, May's next month. Right, okay. I did calendar work wrong. So, in fact, it's not in a month and a half. Well, now it's in a month and a half, so I still have more time to prepare. So how you doing, Russia?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Except these garrisons in Vietnam are like fucking, like, what the hell, man? They're so overpowered. What the fuck?
Oh, they're really not. That's the best part. These are just average garrisons. Oh, what happened?
Whoa.
Oh my god! You've been attacking the French so much that they just attacked you? Dude, you pissed France off real bad.
Apparently so.
Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, you guys don't border each other anyway, so it's not like they're gonna attack you, right?
Hopefully not.
Oh, you're already fighting them in West Berlin. They have some units there. You're just shooting them from Berlin. They only have a couple units there. Huh, I've never seen this happen before. This is on low world volatility as a reminder. Oh my god.
Kidding.
Oh my god, France is mobilizing to go somewhere. Where are they going? Oh dear god, France, what are you doing? I never in a million years saw whatever's coming. They're going to Germany. Okay, Germany's not.
I didn't even hardly do anything to the French. I've been just basically. This didn't even happen. What the fuck?
Technically, you did attack them without provocation.
I didn't do nothing.
Technically speaking, they just got a freebie war on you. I'm glad we learned that mechanic last time so I could understand why this just happened, which thankfully now I can. You just took a big hit to your treaty integrity too. Holy crap. He's down to 45.6.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna
bullshit.
support that war. I'm so glad we actually learned what that mechanic was. Otherwise you'd be like, what the hell's happening? Well, nice. Again, low world volatility, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Maybe if it just stays stagnant for a while, they won't do anything and they'll peace out.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Let me send a bill over to Thailand. We have to get Thailand, definitely. He's still pushing down in Vietnam anyway. It's not gonna stagnate while you keep pushing south in Vietnam, though, just for the record.
Yeah, they're on waypoints. I just canceled it out right now.
Yeah, if you keep fighting there, it definitely won't end. So you can keep pushing, but you're gonna stay at war with France the whole time.
Some of them a bitch.
I mean, you brought this on yourself.
That was funny. That was funny, though.
That is hilarious. I never in a million years saw that coming. It's May 14th. We now have a month or less than a month until the war starts. Oh, looks like the world is already out of rubber. I was right. He doesn't have nearly as much of a rubber quote-unquote issue as I do. So that's one thing we're going to have to keep in mind. God, the worldwide alert level just keeps going up. This is all your fault. You realize that, right?
Sure.
This is 100% your doing. Oh, he got the alliance with Finland.
Start right now. Bring it.
Jesus Christ, man. I have a lot of justification towards him. Oh, probably because of that war. I was going to say, is he opposing my government or something? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it'll taper off and then we'll peace out and then everything will be back to normal. It'll be fine.
It probably will go exactly like that, yeah. We're gonna listen to ding non-stop for a little while.
Ding.
Ding!
I mean, I just brought Finland and Hungary into the Warsaw Pact, so, you know, come on, bring it out.
Finland and Austria.
Austria, sorry.
I haven't been bringing anyone new into my sphere. I've been just like taking those that are already leaning and just kind of doubling down on them, getting them fully committed. Just got everything short of an alliance with Iran. I want Thailand more than anybody right now, so let's throw another bill-ish at those Thai ladyboys. Want to bring them fully in. I want to get Iran fully in, because once someone's allied, he'd have a very hard time of flipping them no matter what happens. We finished all the initial rubber I was making. I'm now making more rubber over here as well on this island that I've just gotten. I guess, should I put a seapier or a seaport here? I guess for supply purposes, I should be putting a seaport. Plus we can base more ships out of it. It could be like another little military base. Put a barracks on it as well, just to, yeah, literally make it another little military base. Hell, fuck it, let's just put everything. Put an air base, too. And go ahead and link this crap by either road or rail. Wow, it's so close to each other. We can go ahead and we can just do road. Like a little loopy loop there. Let's see, Thailand moved NATO aligned. Yugoslavia's Warsaw, yeah, Yugoslavia was a given. We have no actual roads or anything on most of these places, but with some roads, we could potentially increase our productivity here. So let's go ahead and set that shit up. It's now May 28th. The war should be starting soon, so I'm going to start getting some units headed over there.
Oh, there you go. See, alert level reduced. Things are already like...
It's been reducing and, like, going back up over and over nonstop.
It's like, calm down, everybody back to your quarters now.
Send another almost a bill to the Thai ladyboys. The Argentinians are offering me insane amounts of money to buy consumer goods from me, so I'm just gonna make some money off that so I can keep throwing it at more potential allies. Man, the world market is concerned with you after that. That's with the critical international opinion off. Imagine if it was on.
Oh god, I'd be screwed.
Looks like he's keeping his land production 1 ahead of mine. Same with naval and air 5 ahead of mine.
Like I said, I'm sure they'll go back to normal. Just let it chillax for
definitely.
a while.
Oh, I got one of the milk cap penalties again because of my deployed military skyrocket. He doesn't have a lot of his military actually deployed right now, I don't think. Probably only his land military, if I had to guess. We can get the alliance with Thailand. Now we gotta try for Iran. Well, we can buy the defenses. They're not so happy with us population-wise, so we're gonna need to put a lot more money into them, probably. And I don't know, I think they have an event to flip, so I don't know how much money I really want to put into them, but I'll at least put some money into them for the time being. Historically, I know they have a coup, and I don't know if that's going to happen here, but one nation wouldn't be the worst thing. So I haven't looked in a while, but it looks like most of the infantry I sent them seems to be gone. So I might have made a mistake, and maybe they actually dismantled like more than half of it. Or sold it. I'm not sure. Probably dismantled it for the military goods, which is a shame. But it was either them or me, and I was going to send them military goods eventually anyway. They kept the tanks and stuff, and they still kept a lot of it. The war is literally about to start as we speak. Nothing's really changing. Plan's still going to have roughly the same effect. You could see a lot of my troops are going to be arriving soon, hopefully just in time for the war, where we can hopefully just overwhelm and dominate North Korea. Well, at least I know for the future that if the AI nations have an excess of units, they will look at deconstructing them. Especially ones they have too much of, like infantry. I guess I should have tried to do the trade closer to the war, but you know what? I'm always learning about this crazy game. Looks like he got an alliance formed with Yugoslavia. Yeah, I saw that coming. I knew anyone even slightly red, I knew he'd be going for. Absolutely saw that shit coming. Watch, fucking India's next, China's probably going to be soon, Mongolia. He's very big on his aggressive diplomatic play when it comes to this game. Oh, I got Iran to NATO aligned already, but not yet capable of making an alliance. Let's send them another bill. For as long as I can use them as a deterrent, the better. Buy some anti-tank rifles from the British, because they have that. And there we go, the war in Korea has started.
Oh, there's the Korean War.